Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Gardener. I'm your host, Jennifer Ebling. It's August 1st. Are you growing gladiola? The plants are also sometimes called the sword lily. Gladiola is Latin for a small sword. In Victorian times, the meaning of gladiola was, "You pierce my heart." And the next time you see a gladiola, take a closer look. Members of this family produce parts in multiples of 3. There are 3 sepals, colored to look like petals, 3 true petals, plus 3 stamens. Here's today's brevities. It was on this day in 1923 that the botanist Edwin Teal married Nellie Imogene Donovan. The two had met while Teal was at college. After they married, they moved to New York so that Teal could continue his education at Columbia. His first job was writing for the magazine Popular Science. On the side, Teal began taking pictures and specializing in nature photography. When he was 42, he left Popular Science in order to become a freelancer. By 1943, his book, Byways to Adventure, A Guide to Nature Hobbies, won the John Burroughs Medal for Distinguished Natural History Writing. During World War II, the Teal's son, David, was killed in Germany. The couple began traveling across the country by automobile. The trips helped them cope with their grief, and they became not only a catharsis, but an integral part of Teal's writing. Their 1947 trip, covering 17,000 miles in a black Buick following the advance of spring, led to Teal's book, North with the Spring. Additional road trips led to the books Journey into Summer, Autumn Across America, and Wandering Through Winter, which won the Pulitzer Prize in 1966. And it was Edward Teal who said, "Any fine morning, a power saw can fell a tree that took 1,000 years to grow." And nature is shy and non-committal in a crowd. To learn her secrets, visit her alone or with a single friend at most. Everything evades you. Everything hides. Even your thoughts escape you when you walk in a crowd. And then finally, our minds as well as our bodies have need of the out of doors. Our spirits too need simple things, elemental things, the sun and the wind and the rain, moonlight and starlight, sunrise and mist and mossy forest trails, the perfumes of dawn and the smell of fresh turned earth and the ancient music of wind among the trees. And today is the birthday of the botanist Franklyn Hewitt Perrin, who was born on this day in London in 1927. In 1962, Perrin, along with Max Walters, wrote the Atlas of the British Flora, which some called the most significant natural history book of the 20th century. And it was Franklyn Perrin who devised the dot map. Perrin was an outstanding field botanist with a phenomenal memory for plants. And Perrin was the best kind of botanist, possessing the eagerness of an amateur and the training of a true professional. He'd obtained his PhD in Cambridge, and when Max Walters, the director of the University Herbarium, invited him to map the distribution of all the wildflowers, trees, and ferns of England and Ireland, Perrin said yes. Planning and leading groups of experts on remote field trips by bicycle, train, or foot was Perrin's favorite thing to do. Incredibly, Walters and Perrin successfully mapped all of Britain's plants in under 5 years. In unearthed words, here's a little saying by Lord Byron. "The English winter ending in July to recommence in August. Today's book recommendation is The Garden Chef: Recipes and Stories from Plant to Plate. For many people, gardens are just extensions of the kitchen. Today, restaurants are utilizing rooftop gardens for growing herbs and spices, and bigger pieces of land allow for cultivating vegetables along with fruit trees. The Garden Chef offers more than 100 garden-focused recipes, and it shares how 40 of the world's top chefs grow and cook with produce directly from their garden. The book offers stories along with the recipes for folks who enjoy reading cookbooks, and it also offers tips for gardeners, showing how the smallest space can grow something delicious to eat. For today's garden chore, try using a strawberry jar to plant herbs. One of the best things about strawberry jars is that they can be brought into the house for winter, and the leaves can be snipped off whenever you need them. And it has a very small footprint. If you're going to plant in a strawberry jar successfully, make sure you fill it with a mixture of potting soil that has plenty of perlite. Then you can add the herbs that you like: basil, parsley, apple mint, and lemon thyme, just to name a few. Finally, here's something sweet to revive the little botanic spark in your heart. It was on this day in 1950 that the Ithaca Journal published a question from a reader. Please list a few plants that are named for people. Here's the answer. The poinsettia was named for Joel Robert Poinsett, a famous statesman. Wisteria is named in honor of Caspar Wistar, a distinguished physician and scientist of Philadelphia. Leonard Fuchs, a German botanist, discovered the plant known as fuchsia, while William Forsyth, a Scottish botanist, is responsible for the name of forsythia. And the name of Louis-Antoine de Bougainville, a French soldier and explorer, is perpetuated in the bougainvillea. And finally, the Paulownia is named for the Grand Duchess Anna Pavlovna, daughter of Tsar Paul I. Thanks for listening to The Daily Gardener, and remember, for a happy, healthy life, garden every day. The Daily Gardener is produced weekdays in lovely Maple Grove, Minnesota. You can find complete show notes over at thedailygardener.org, and be sure to share the show with your garden friends. You can find The Daily Gardener on all your favorite social media: Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest, and of course, Facebook. While you're over at Facebook, don't forget to join the Daily Gardener community. Just search for these 3 words: Daily Gardener Community. The group will pop right up, and then request to join. Finally, I want to thank my team at Podfly Productions, where my fabulous editor is Eric Begay. Have a great day in the garden, and we'll see you tomorrow.